Hey guys, the watch this video here for Tuesday, November 17th, starting off with showing the daily chart on the SPY. Just like last Monday, we gapped up on vaccine news. And this vaccine news, I'm no scientist, but actually sounded better, right? 94%, I think, rate, and doesn't have to be kept at 400 below zero or whatever. So it sounded good. That was Moderna. And the SPY gapped up and actually put in a narrow range, but is very, very close to all-time highs. So interesting day. A couple of highlights real quick. AHT, just to explain, I already had it on long watch. It's sort of a return to normal player, go back to reopening things, which honestly is weird because there's sort of a tug of war right now. The vaccine, people think, okay, we're going to reopen, but then tidbits you hear out of potential people that can make decisions, maybe, right? We're in such a weird situation right now, are saying we need to lock down for 4 more years. So who knows, right? But with all that in mind, let me get pre-market off of here. I got after hours and all that. Okay, so with all that in mind, this is the opening 10 minutes. I'm showing you 5-minute candles here. Opening 10 minutes of, actually about 5 minutes in, I said I like this back up through 4, AHT. Again, it's a reopening play. So you have a whole number inflection point with the open about a nickel above, and then a few, maybe 4 cents above that, the high of day. So we had a scenario what I call stacked catalysts. So got long through 4. Worst case stop would have been like 390, right? Then we get the red to green. Let's move it over there. We get the red to green, we get the high of day break, and then I start scaling out and ended up having a very nice profitable trade to start the day. It ended up rolling over, but it didn't matter, as I say, or as we always say with day traders, we rent them. A couple that I remember that Wayne called today, KCAC. Let's go to 5-minute candles real quick. Just called this simple, long through 20. It opened at 20. You have a whole number of inflection point, recent high flyer, sold off early, kind of puts a rounding bottom, then comes back up. Little sellers come in here. He just called this long through 20. It was a great call. Within 5, 10, 15 minutes, it's up over 21. Pretty simple trade. Really nice call. Wayne also called CVAC, CVAC. Look at that. The beauty of the kind of entries we look for is generally you should be green pretty much right away without any kind of sweating it, right? If your thesis holds up. He called this long through 82 with the earlier high of day just above on a very strong stock. Got the 82 break and ended up going up to 85.40 where it closed at its highs. Another really nice call by Wayne. So there's a few highlights from the day. Certainly some other good calls as well. WWR was in play in the chat. GP, which ended up closing really strong. I traded this very poorly. I think I made $200 or $300 total on the day on this trade. And I really liked this setup, and I just didn't trade it well, but it ended up closing strong. It's actually on the watch list, but let me just go with the watch list on the order that I have them written down. So SOL had this big breakout yesterday. Today, kind of a quiet inside day. Solar play, we're going to watch that tomorrow. Sun W, nice curling, it kind of breaking up above this 350 resistance, and a pretty strong close. Another solar, so we're going to watch that one. Workhorse, WKHS. This actually looked better earlier today when this was a solid green candle. It closed well off its highs. I like it over this, the last couple days highs, over the 2075 area, somewhere around there. It could continue. If you go to 15-minute candles, you'll see that, like right here, it had a really nice move for about 2 hours. Had a really nice move here, and then today, even from 1950 to 2050 in about a half hour. That's still a nice move. Certainly interesting. You could argue a 15-minute inverse head and shoulders. I don't like to get that mired down into little patterns, but suffice it to say, as a day trader, I've been watching this thing make some nice intraday moves, so I want to watch it. Blink, they make charging stations for EVs. Nice little breakout today. We're going to watch that for a follow-through day tomorrow. Nice call on that one today by Nicholas. SPI. If Sun W goes and SOL goes, this is deemed to be a sympathy play. I think they have some sort of presentation tomorrow, so keep that in mind. But had this massive move back here, then a lower high, another lower high, another lower high. And if you kind of picture a trend line here, it's kind of curling and breaking out a little bit. So we're going to watch that for a follow-through day. Tigger, TIGR, gapped up and ended up going out kind of close to its highs. So I want to watch it. Again, you can kind of picture a trend line there. It's probably near the top of the trend with a potential break above it and nice volume today. Don't love that one, but we're going to watch it. Fubo, F-U-B-O, had the gap up, came back down to the 8-day. Next thing you know, it's really strong again. So we're going to keep our eyes on that one. APWC. My problem with this one is it seems to run on no news. I think 3 or 4 Discord rooms play this one and they're able to move it, right? But I can't ignore the fact that it's holding up. So you had this big day on Friday, today an inside day, but closing well above its open. So you've got, today's high, Friday's high, and then this high back here, all kind of stacked. So I'm going to watch it. Don't really like trading stuff with no news, right? At least that I could find. AHT, I already talked about this one, but it had the gap up, ended up closing about where it opened. If the return to, I guess we call them the reopening plays, catch a bid tomorrow, this is a nice little setup. NKLA, I already had this one on watch, and then today it gapped up and then closed about where it opened. I kind of call that an indecision candle on the daily. But much like Workhorse, switched to 15-minute candles, you've got a couple really nice moves lately, right? This was like 18 to 21. This was like under 20 to almost 22, and then today gapped up, so it's kind of fading a little bit. As a day trader, I'm going to keep it on watch. I can't look at that daily chart and tell you that I love it, right? RIDE, R-I-D-E, nice breakout today in that same space, electric vehicles, Lordstown Motors. We're going to watch that. Really nice pop today and closing strong. GP, I already talked about this one, biggest volume ever, I think, and a very strong close, but it's been running for 2 days, so keep that in mind. WWR, nice breakout today. We'll see if we get any kind of red to green or any kind of follow through day. CAN, big breakout today. I believe this is a pure Bitcoin. I don't want to say pure, but a Bitcoin play is the reason it was running, and Bitcoin was strong today. But a nice breakout, so I don't want to ignore it. And then lastly, I'm going to throw APD back on the bounce playlist because it still didn't give me that narrow range afternoon high of day break that I'm looking for, so there was just no trades in it today. And I would not argue with, let's see, I thought I put one of these on here. Bear with me 1 second. I don't. I kind of want to put LI on here. It had the big pop, then the gap up and selling, and it's curling back up. But let me just say this. I won't put it on the list, but LI, XPEV, all of these, and then NEO, all 3 of those tend to run together, and they're all Chinese electric vehicle makers. So, and they all kind of have the same pattern. I don't know. Got some bag holders now from Friday, but a nice curl back up today. So, they're kind of in no man's land for me, which is why I didn't put them on the list. But I'll give them an honorable mention. How about that? All right. Anyway, I'm done babbling. We'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.